Bitcoin has been climbing higher into the $20,000 range, and a lot of people are starting to wonder if this is the real bounce. And I think you guys already know kind of broadly what my thoughts are going to be on this, but the thing is, we've got to view, in my opinion, everything here just by a little bit more of a bearish lens, right? I mean, we have absolutely fallen off cliffs, plural, over these last couple of months, and so any reaction rallies we have here are, in my opinion, going to be potentially exactly that until proven otherwise. From low to high, we've now moved up by 22%, which is pretty significant. I mean, over here, we only managed to pull a 14% rally, right? So that's pretty cool. And we are now just hovering around in the $21,000 range right here. We ended up topping out at 21.5. We didn't yet get to my resistance level at $22,000. I want to see how we interact with this level, if at all. But so far, we're doing, I think, pretty well. Take a look at this. We're flipping support resistance levels. You guys already know about this. We had this level right here at 20,300. This was the level that Bitcoin was bouncing off just before it collapsed below 20K. And since then, we have been finding support consistently off this level. We found support 3 times, and on this third occasion right here, we actually managed to blast off a little bit higher. It looks like we are continuing to get these kind of SR flips, potentially taking us up to that $22,000 level. And obviously, these things are going to get very, very exciting if we're able to pierce that $22,000 level as well, because that's where we enter basically a range of pretty much no liquidity until we get up to about $27,000, $28,000, and that's where I think a really, really big spike could be coming. That's something which would really surprise a lot of people. It would totally make sense if we look at things like the Fear and Greed Index. Let's just wait for this to load up right here. Bam, a reading of 9. Yesterday, a reading of 9. The day before that, a reading of 6. And the day before that, a reading of 6. This is my wet dream, ladies and gents. It is happening right fucking now. Smash up the likes. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you're enjoying this content, because this is exactly where the market does things that surprises a lot of people. One of the other things that I like, and I've said this before already, is that we have actually formed a very nice higher low pattern right here. I mean, right off, basically falling down. The next time we came back down to test this area, the bulls were not having it. They did step in. The bears ran out of steam. People didn't want to sell Bitcoin this low, pretty much. That's the impression that I got, and we are now moving up a little bit. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be, speculating on where this thing could go, if this is actually going to be the real rally that, allows the market to rise higher. But again, this is where I got to step in, the voice of reason, and just remind you guys, ladies and gents, we still haven't hit our resistance levels yet. Look at this on the 4-hour time frame. We still haven't hit the Ichimoku cloud. This is far, far away. Momentum wise, yeah, we're in the thick of it right now. We are right inside of it. We are right where it's all hot. But this is only on the 4-hour time frame. On the 1-day time frame, we're not even close. On the 1-day time frame, resistance starts at about $25,000. That's quite far away. And considering how much of a big series of moves we've seen recently, I don't think it's completely out there to expect that we do end up kind of, over these, because it's the annoying, boring thing, right? It's like over these next few weeks, we just kind of slowly grind higher, potentially capture some of these resistance zones, and then see what's going to happen. Obviously, if sentiment does change in some significant way, then yeah, we're good. But if not, then yeah, we are potentially just going to be capturing a little bit more resistance. If we look at this on a very short-term time frame, we are actually flipping this completely, returning bullish now. We've got support on the 1-hour time frame, which is absolutely great. On the EMA ribbon right here, we've got we've got decent support that's actually been helping the market rise up recently as well, so that's pretty cool. I don't think that this is going to be the strongest area for Bitcoin to beat, so like I said, my target is still set at that $22,000 level. Obviously, this is having quite strong implications for the rest of the market as well. If we take a look at Ethereum, Ethereum's bounce here, I think, was actually pretty damn impressive, guys. I mean, it fell from it fell down to $880, and you guys know my target was 800, so that was very, very close. And Ethereum's up by 33%. Okay, that's quite a big deal. If you manage to get in $100 down here, you're up to 133. That's a pretty nice gain right there. And altcoins across the board not doing too bad. Binance coin up quite a bit. Phantom got absolutely destroyed, but now it's rallying very, very hard. Look at Phantom outperforming Ethereum by a little bit as well, up by 40% from low to high. So altcoins really rallying by quite a bit. And this is in the space of 2 days, okay? And the thing is they're only recovering what they've lost. So I don't want to make this sound like these are attractive bets or that, all of a sudden this altcoin market is starting to look good at all. That's not the case. This altcoin market is still completely shot. It's a bad place to be. But in terms of these moves that we're seeing right now, we are starting to get a little bit of these bullish breakouts. So what I'm going to be interested in seeing is, how does the fear and greed index continue to update? Right now, people just aren't buying this. They don't care. They're not interested. That's kind of a good thing to me. I like seeing that, because in cases like this, we can keep rising if people aren't really believing that this is going to continue. You've got a lot of naysayers, and that generally most people are on the wrong side of the market. Obviously it's no surprise, and that's where these things do start getting very, very exciting. Now, one thing that I do want to show you is how we ended up bottoming out with the March coronavirus crash of 2020. So let me go ahead and bring the chart back to over there without any indicators. It's right over here, somewhat similar to what we've just experienced. Let's replay the chart so I can zoom in. We're now on the 4-hour time frame, and take a look at how this ended up going down. All right, so we were trading at about $10,000. This is when the catastrophe began. This was February of 2020. The West was getting scared, then the West shat itself, and the markets just completely dropped like a stone. Look at this. We set a low right here at $3,800 on this exchange, which is Bitstamp. Not the best exchange for analysis, but it's one that I'm using anyway. 3.8, and then the second time, we ended up rallying up. The second time, we didn't end up coming down nearly as low. We fell down only to 4,400, and then we continued rallying up. And of course, unless you've been living under a rock, you're going to know that Bitcoin has never been down to these levels since then. We've actually never traded down that low at any point since that time in this market. We just kept going higher and higher and higher. We did have, some of these weird ranges, but for the most part, you'll see that we actually just shot up and didn't ever look back. We haven't been back down at these price levels since then. And that's quite significant. This is actually, something which is quite bullish. This is something which, actually back then, to be fair, I wasn't buying it. Back then, I didn't actually believe that this was going to, recover. It only took me until probably around the $7,000 range that I started to get bullish again. So that was definitely something where I was a little bit slow to catch back onto the trend. But right now, with what we're looking at, we do have people potentially thinking that we're replaying what was going on right here. And I have no idea why my chart is loading up so slowly right now. Hopefully this doesn't continue, because that's going to make the video difficult. But we are now potentially just doing something like this again. This is your classic V-shaped bottom, where we basically fell down and are rising up with exactly the same intensity. Even volume-wise, according to this chart, volume seems roughly even between the bears and the bulls. I don't think that's going to be on all the charts. Yeah, I think volume's a little bit... Short ratio as well, I'll give it a check. We got Max here just on the side, by the way. The volume on other exchanges a little bit stronger on the sell side. That's something we've continuously been seeing. Let's actually, let's check out.
Almost more shorts right now.
Okay,
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So we're just loading up mdxalgo.com. Check it out. It's literally mdxalgo.com, and right here, if we take a look at the long and shorts, we were actually looking at this on one of the recent live streams. Binance's long to short ratio was like, what was it, 1.15, 1.3?
Yeah, I think it was like 68% long.
Yeah, it was huge. So this has dropped massively.
Actually, it was 75% long at one point.
Yeah, and that was recent. That was only a few days ago. So this is really evening out. This is exactly what we want to see when we're talking about the markets continuing to rise higher. To me, what this means is that essentially, a lot of people were in long positions down here. This is when, the long and short ratio was massively weighted towards longs. But now seeing that long and short ratio drop, basically evening out, that tells me that actually a lot of people have gotten out of their long positions. They're not completely buying this rally. They don't want to stay in long positions. And potentially, the flip side of that can also mean that a lot of people are starting to enter short positions as we're approaching resistance levels as well.
There's been a lot of forced selling because people's
why don't you jump in?
Yeah,
Wait,
okay,
just
yeah.
bring the seat here.
Hungover, but awesome.
You're always hungover, mate. It's the best way.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's
No,
make this.
I'll just tell you what I think.
Let's just make sure you're in frame. There you go.
Jeez, what's up, boys?
What's going on, guys? I'll leave his link in the description as well.
Yeah,
Check
do
him
it,
out.
man. No, I just think because of that, the amount of longs you've had, it's been a lot of forced selling. You know, because as the market comes down, all those longs started getting the market orders get hit, the stops get hit, the liquidations get hit, and then it kind of has that waterfall effect, like I've spoken about before, that domino effect. So as soon as we see more shorts, then we'll just start that journey on the direction. Because there's not, if you backtest this, there's not many instances in history where you've seen the whole market being long and then they're all right at the top. It's usually the opposite of that. So I'm looking at sentiment a lot right now because sentiment does time tops and bottoms quite nicely. And then if we see commitment of traders, you haven't got the data up, but when we see the people the dealers who work at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange going long, and then there's a divergence between the longs from CME and then the shorts coming in on retail exchanges, then I think that's going to be a good sign for us. But that's just a sign. I wouldn't put that's not a whole strategy in its own. You got to use TA, look at your levels, look at your fucking SR, and then use that in confluence with a broader trading strategy, and then obviously looking at momentum because we all know we looked at the monthly RSI as well. We're definitely getting close, to a bottom, but on the short term we can still go lower. Medium term, I see you're scaling into some sort of medium term play, and then long term, you're a buy right now as a long term guy.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean, long-term stuff is quite obvious. We're down so heavy, so obviously, buying Bitcoin this low is, historically it would have worked out amazingly. I'm still very keen on seeing if we find resistance in these ranges, but if not, ladies and gents, like I keep saying, there's just too much potential for this to shoot up because I just don't see any sellers in this range. And if you've got some baseline level of demand but fucking zero sellers, you're just gonna spike up. I mean, it doesn't.
And the micro high there as well.
Yeah. So this is about
23k would be a great place to get above, and then high,
right?
low, and then boosh.
Yeah. You beat these highs. Cool. Check him out. I'll leave his link.
Legends.
Yep. He's a fellow Brit YouTuber. Great analysis, just like this channel. If we're able to swing above this high, that's going to be the thing that really excites a lot of people. It's going to be what I think to some extent is going to prove that we are, at least to some people, that we're coming out of a bear market. And obviously, if you believe those kind of sentiments, then yeah, you might be buying back in as well, and that can just lead to one of these big shoot ups right here. The thing is, I don't want you guys to get too excited if we do get a big rally to a level like 28,000, because if we do rally up to 28,000, again, like I said, in ranges like this, I'm just not expecting, and this is a big range. This is 24 up to 27 basically. In ranges like this, you're not necessarily, like I said, going to have a lot of sellers, purely because if we zoom out quite far and we just look at what's been going on between these two yellow boxes, the answer is nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing has gone on between these two boxes. We just shoot up in a straight line right here. We had a wick right here, and then we shot right down. I mean, there's no trading that's happened here, and that it's not even these two yellow boxes, guys. I mean, it goes up far higher, up to even $29,000, and so there's just no technical levels of significance, and people just kind of don't. You can't do anything if there's if you're a technical analyst and there's no technical significance in these ranges, you're just going to lay off the market. So whichever direction the market is going in, it's just going to complete. That's generally how it goes. And there's so many examples of this that I've been talking about on the YouTube channel for a very, very long time, right? One of the best examples let's go for back here. One of the best examples was basically between 40,000 and kind of 50,000. There wasn't much trading that happened in this kind of range right here. We just shot up, nearly shot all the way down, came back up, and then we dropped all the way down. So that on the flip side, if you start rising up between this range, you probably are not going to capture any real resistance. You'll just have a straight line rally up. And if I replay the chart, that is exactly what happened. Take a look at this. The next time we rallied up, there was basically no problem. Yes, we did slow down a little bit, but we didn't have any real resistance. We didn't have any real consolidation. We just kept going up. Kept going up because there was, what have I done? Because there was no resistance to be found in the first place. So that's what I'm seeing here. But that doesn't mean that once sellers step in, that the market is going to be able to hold these levels. And that is the big thing that I think is going to be catching a lot of people by surprise if this reaction rally becomes quite an extreme one. And it definitely can. It definitely can become an extreme one because the sell-off has been quite extreme. Okay, so that to me is a big sign that this could actually get quite extreme in terms of how high we rise. But as soon as that selling pressure comes back in, you got to keep in mind there's not necessarily going to be a lot of buying pressure that takes us up. It's just going to be that there's no sellers. So as soon as there are sellers, guess what? You didn't have a high baseline level of demand in the first place, so those sellers are just going to sell right into those order books. There's not going to be anything there to support that selling pressure, and we'll see a price collapse again. That's exactly what starts happening around these kind of ranges as well. You know, a lot of the time, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, ladies and gents, and especially when the market was breaking up and trending up in its uptrends right here. You know, it wasn't necessarily that a lot of people were buying Bitcoin. We were talking about this a lot on the YouTube channel, guys. Look at the volume back here, all right? Look at this volume when we first pierced. Let me just make this very easily visible so you can see exactly what's going on right here. You know, there was a lot of, just trace this orange volume moving average line. This orange line will show you the average volume we had. You know, there was big spikes right here, but the second time when the market was setting new all-time highs, you know, at 66 and then $69,000, there was nearly, you know, I mean, there wasn't nearly as much volume. I mean, it was basically nothing. If we look at the highs up here compared to the highs that we had when we were setting these all-time highs, we didn't have any volume. And so the only reason the market would continue to rise is if there's no sellers. You know, right here, there's a lot of, you know, trading going on. There's a lot of battling between the bulls and bears. There's a lot of actual buying action going on. And that's why we had, you know, a rally like this. But this second rally right here, the one that really was catastrophic afterwards, the one that we were warning about, that could be problematic on this YouTube channel right here. Those of you that are subscribed, that have been shooting up those likes, are going to know all about this. If you were watching the channel back here, yeah, we didn't have any buyers. Okay, we had some buyers, but not nearly as much as you'd think we have if we're setting brand new all-time highs. So as soon as that selling pressure comes in, nothing is able to support it, and the price starts collapsing. So that obviously builds for a very nice trading range, and you guys already know the deal. All the trading that I'm doing is happening on Bybit. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is so bad right now, but Bybit right here is the only exchange that I'm using. Would be amazing if it loaded up, but when you sign, look at this is so cute. If you guys don't sign up using my link, you get a $30 bonus, but if you do, you get a $600 bonus. That's 20 times larger. So if you want to sign up to Bybit, use the very same exchange that I'm using, the same exchange that I trust, that I put my own funds on, then you can sign up using my link in the description down below. You're going to be getting up to $600 for signing up using my link, and then just head to the rewards hub. So that is very cool indeed. Just free cash basically for signing up to what is, in my opinion, a great exchange. You guys know the deal. I've been working with them for years, but loved them even before I started to work with them on the promo stuff, obviously. Let's take a look at what else I might be missing here. Let me take a quick peek at my notes, make sure that I haven't missed any of my core analysis points. Yeah, and then if we do start losing these support levels, let's talk about what might happen next. So let's go back onto this Coinbase chart where I have all my drawings, zoom in a little bit, wait for this archaic fucking French internet to load. Yeah, so if we do lose this 20k level, I think that's where it could get pretty ugly. I know Max is looking at this level potentially having some sort of bullish reaction, whether it's a big one or not, just something. If we do end up collapsing below the $20,000 level, though, I think it could get bloody very quickly. It's just going to be basically that the market has been destroyed. We've been given a little bit of hope. That hope will then be removed, and it's going to, I think, just scare a lot of people. It's going to be a very upsetting thing if we do end up dipping back below 20. So I would expect a lot of blood just to bring us literally back down to this low, potentially even sweep it. All this news of, you know, the liquidation with Celsius and stuff like that, no one's been talking about it over the last day. that talk is going to come back. Every bearish thing you can think of is going to come back. That's basically how these news cycles go, really, is, you know, at any given point, there's a million very bullish things and there's a million very bearish things you could say about Bitcoin, and they only get selected based off where the price is. You know, so you'll start hearing a lot of that talk going around in the space if we start dropping again. And you know, fear is a very, very powerful emotion. So I'm absolutely not ruling out that we sweep this low if we lose support. So this area right here, this 20K region, is critical. I really want to see that we're able to stay above it. Right now, we're not showing the best signs of strength. I do wish this rally was a little bit more explosive, considering how bloody the sell-off was. You know, I feel like we're going a little bit too slow. But so far, I mean, that's really the only complaint I've got. So I think that's pretty decent. I think that's not too bad. So that's what I'm seeing right there. I will come back with another video potentially later tonight, if not tomorrow. So make sure you are subscribed so that you don't miss out on that content. If you did enjoy this one, smash up the likes. If you found it useful to have Max tuning into this video as well, smash up those fucking likes. Max.
Desecration is key, guys.
There we go. Desecration is key. Max throwing up his thumbs as well. Bybit link in the description if you want $600 for free. And if you want to be able to watch me trading in real time, these are the steps on screen. Oh, what have I done? These are the steps on screen to join my trading group right here as well. Really hope you have enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.